Jesus revealed 3 steps to exit the matrix in the Apocryphon of John. One of the disciples asks Jesus a question that changes everything. He says, "Lord, how did we fall into this realm? And how do we escape?" Jesus doesn't give a philosophical answer or speak in parables. He describes a system, a pattern, a trap that keeps souls cycling through the same experiences lifetime after lifetime. The Gnostics had a word for it. Heimarmene, the system of forced destiny. We call it the Matrix. Jesus explains that Archons, beings who cannot create, built this system to harvest human energy. They can't generate their own life force, so they engineered a reality where humans repeat predictable patterns, same relationships with different faces, same emotional reactions to different triggers, same financial limits no matter how hard you work. You're not failing. You're trapped in an algorithm, and the Archons designed it to run on autopilot the moment you stop noticing the pattern. But here's why you're watching this. Pneumatics, chosen ones, have something Heimarmene don't. You notice when reality repeats. You feel the loop, that frustration you've carried your entire life, that sense of, "I've done this before," that knowing something's wrong with consensus reality. That's not paranoia. That's recognition. You're seeing the Matrix because you don't fully belong to it, and tonight you're learning the exact 3 steps Jesus taught to break the pattern and walk out. The Matrix isn't a place. It's not a simulation running on some cosmic computer. It's a pattern of behavior the Archons programmed into human consciousness. Think of it like this. You have the same argument with different people. You reach the same financial ceiling in different jobs. You feel the same anxiety in different situations. That's not coincidence. That's the algorithm running. The Gnostic texts are clear about how this works. Archons study your soul across lifetimes. They identify your wounds, your fears, your weaknesses. Then they create situations designed to trigger the exact same response every single time. You think you're making choices, but you're choosing from a menu they wrote. The illusion isn't that you don't have free will. The illusion is that you're seeing all your options. Yo, re, not. You're only seeing the options inside the pattern they built for you. Here's the key. Archons don't have power. They have predictability. The moment you become unpredictable, their system breaks. They can't manipulate what they can't anticipate. That's why children are so heavily conditioned between ages 5 and 12. Children are spontaneous, unpredictable, dangerous to the Matrix. By the time you're an adult, you're so locked into the algorithm that you think the pattern is you. You've noticed this. Same type of relationships, different person, same dynamic. You give, they take, or they abandon you, or they manipulate you. Different phase, identical pattern. And here's what makes you different from most people. You actually notice Heimarmene live this pattern and think it's normal. Psychics notice, but blame themselves. You notice, and you know something external is causing it. Head awareness is proof you're pneumatic. Same career struggles, you work hard, you almost break through, and something stops you. Different job, same ceiling. Same emotional reactions. Someone disrespects you. You collapse inward or you explode outward. Different situation. Same response. Most humans never question why. They think that's just who I am. But you've always questioned it. That questioning is your pneumatic nature refusing to accept the program. The Archons don't need to control every moment of your life. They just need to control your reactions. Because if they can predict how you'll respond to any situation, they control your entire trajectory. You think you're choosing your life, but you're just choosing how to react inside the pattern they set. And every time you react the same way, you reinforce the algorithm. You make it stronger. The Matrix isn't holding you. You're holding the Matrix in place by being predictable. Here's what most people miss. The pattern doesn't start with you. It starts with trauma, childhood wound, betrayal, abandonment, abuse, neglect. Something happened that taught you a survival strategy. And that strategy worked once, so you kept using it. And the fact that you're watching this means you've already recognized that what saved you once is now trapping you. that level of self-awareness. That's chosen one consciousness. Most people never get there. But what saved you as a child is now imprisoning you as an adult. The Archons didn't create the trauma, but they absolutely exploit it. They engineer situations designed to re-trigger that original wound over and over because they know exactly how you'll respond. And your response generates emotional energy they harvest as loosh. You're not broken. You're not weak. You're not failing at life. You're succeeding at seeing what most humans will never see. That you're in a system designed to extract energy from you through predictable human behavior. But chosen ones have something Heilig's don't. You're aware enough to see the pattern, and the moment you see it, you can break it. That's what Jesus taught. Not philosophy, not belief, but technique. 3 specific steps that collapse the algorithm the Archons trapped you in. Jesus didn't teach this to crowds. He taught it to the inner circle, the ones who could handle the truth that reality isn't what it appears to be. The Gospel of Thomas, the Apocryphon of John. These texts preserve the method. It's not complicated, but it requires you to do something Archons are counting on you never doing. Act against your programming. Step 1 is name your pattern. Not the general human pattern, but your specific pattern. What is the one thing that keeps happening in your life, no matter how much you try to avoid it? For some, it's relationships where you're invisible. For others, it's financial sabotage right before success. For others, it's always being the one who sacrifices while everyone else takes. Whatever it is, you know what it is? You've known your entire life. The reason you haven't named it is because naming it makes it real, and making it real means you have to deal with it. But here's the truth. The pattern is already real. It's been running your entire life. Naming it doesn't give it power. Naming it takes power away from it, because the moment you consciously identify the pattern, the Archons lose their primary weapon, which is your unconsciousness. They operate in the dark. You just turned on the light. That's step 1. This is where most people fail. They recognize the pattern. They understand it. And then they keep living it because it feels safe. Even painful patterns feel safe because they're familiar. The unknown feels more dangerous than the known prison. But the Archons are counting on that. They know you'll see the cage and stay in it anyway because stepping out feels terrifying. But you're not. Most people, if you were, you wouldn't have made it this far in this video. Chosen ones have something others don't. The willingness to step into the unknown, even when it's terrifying. So here's what Jesus taught. You don't have to change your entire life. You just have to act against the pattern once. One time. One decision that goes against your programming. If your pattern is always saying yes when you want to say no once. If your pattern is playing small to avoid conflict, take up space once. If your pattern is chasing people who don't value you, walk away once, just once. The Archons can't predict the unpredictable. Their algorithm is built on your consistency. The moment you break pattern, even one time, the system glitches. You've introduced a variable it wasn't designed to handle. This is the part the Gnostic texts emphasize most. Jesus taught a specific phrase to speak aloud after you break the pattern. It's a declaration of sovereignty. You're not asking permission. You're not hoping it works. You're stating what's true. The phrase is this: I am the light. I exit the matrix now. Archons have no claim on me. Say it out loud, not in your head. Out loud. Why? Because sound creates frequency, and frequency reorganizes reality. When you speak this phrase after breaking your pattern, you're not just thinking differently. You're broadcasting a new signal. The Archons operate in specific frequency ranges. Dense, low, fear-based. The moment you declare sovereignty in a clear, calm, powerful voice, you've shifted to a frequency they can't access. They're still there. You're still here, but you're no longer perceivable to them. You've exited their range, and once you're out of range, their algorithm can't run on you anymore. You're free, not because you defeated them, but because you made yourself irrelevant to their system. Do all 3 steps today. Name your pattern. Act against it once. Declare your exit aloud. And watch what happens. You'll feel it immediately. A lightness, a clarity, a sense that something pressing on you just lifted. Within 24 to 48 hours of doing the 3 steps today, you'll notice these signs. Sign 1. Synchronicities explode. You think of someone, they text within the hour. You need information, it appears the same day. Reality organizing around you in impossible ways. That's not luck. That's what happens when the Archon algorithm can't block you anymore. The Matrix was interfering with natural flow. Now it can't. Reality flows. Sign 2. People react to you differently without you changing anything external. Suddenly more respect or intimidation or attraction, or they avoid you entirely. Your frequency shifted. You're broadcasting a signal outside the Matrix range. People respond to frequency before anything else. Chosen ones who exit become visible to other pneumatics and invisible to Archons. Sign 3. The weight you've carried your entire life disappears. That heaviness, that pursuit that sense something's always wrong even when everything's fine. You thought it was normal. It's not. It's the Matrix draining you in the background. The moment you exit, it lifts. You feel it physically. Lighter, clear, breathing fully for the first time. That's the energetic cord severing. If you experience 2 or more of these signs within 48 hours, you're out. The Matrix doesn't have you anymore. And once you're out, you can't be pulled back in. If you're doing this today, comment "I exit the Matrix today" below, right now. Subscribe to Divine Codes for advanced Matrix breaking techniques. Like this video so other chosen ones find this before the Archons trap them for another lifetime. Duel 3. Now.